So we would be doing vibe coding with Gemini. So those who are not aware about vibe coding, so it's a new form of coding where you don't have to basically learn each and everything. You don't have to understand the language itself while coding. So this is like a completely reversal of like you should understand concepts and then work on anything. But vibe coding is completely different. It's not like understanding concepts. It's more about like how your thinking process is. Whatever you want to achieve, how you would think about it and tell to Gemini. And Gemini would create the code for you, and you can interact with Gemini more and more and get better code out of it. So you can create complete applications, websites, and a lot of simulators inside of Gemini. And these things are now possible using vibe coding. So people who are not even aware of like how to write HTML or CSS codes in very detailed way, and which experienced 10 to 15 years experienced person can write, they can even do vibe coding, and they don't have to understand any code. They can just create the applications. So this is what vibe coding is all about. So yeah, with that, I think we can start the new era, the vibe coding, and we will go through the entire session, like how vibe coding is done. I'll walk you through certain steps, like how I used to do vibe coding and what all technologies I use, how to better explain to Gemini that what I actually wants to build. Because sometimes we even fail in explaining things to people, and with AI also, if we fail to explain things, AI won't provide us the proper data or proper output for our inputs. So with that, let's start with the vibe coding. And yeah, first of all, before we start with the vibe coding part, uh, I want you to understand that vibe coding is not like you can directly enter any prompt and you can just generate any output out of it. You can even explain Gemini in a much more detailed way. So what I can do is I'll just show you. I'll open Paint for you. So because I don't have pen and paper right now, so I'll just open this one. So let me just share quickly. Okay. So this is the Paint window. And here, what I would do is I would create a dashboard over here. So dashboard should have a bar of here, over here. It should have a map. I would say, let's just assume that, sorry for the very bad drawing, but it's like, assume that it's a map of Japan. It's quite straight. And here, wherever I click, it should create earthquake waves. So I'll even annotate everything. So this is like magnitude of, and here we can say map of Japan. And here we can say earthquake waves. I'll just save it. Save the image in downloads. It's named Untitled 3. Okay, I'll save the image. Now I can just upload that image on Gemini. So it should be saved over here. We uploaded that image. And now I'll write a prompt. So it should be a detailed prompt describing what exactly we want. So I've already typed the prompt, but I'll explain you what I've typed. So create an earthquake simulator dashboard in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, where left side has a bar to set the magnitude of quake. I've already showcased in the image. Middle shows a map of Japan with different cities. And on click on of any point on entire screen, create a quick earthquake waves and show its effect on each city of Japan based on distance. Let's just prompt this. We also need to mark canvas button over here so that it can showcase us the entire screen, like whatever HTML, CSS output it provides, it can showcase directly over here. We don't have to download anything. So this should start the work. Even the thinking process and everything we can see over here. So how it's thinking. So it's a very good model. And this Gemini 2.5 Pro, it recently got an update in this month only. And with that particular update, it can do much more things than this. So you can create entire simulations, physics engines, and a lot of other things. So we would be getting a detailed analysis of this as we move it. So let's just see how it creates this. So sometimes it can create in a one shot, but vibe coding is all about like talking to Gemini more and more and getting more outputs out of it. So if in the first go it doesn't provide us a better answer, we can again prompt it in a better way and get our outputs. So that's all about what we do in vibe coding. So let's just say wait for a couple of more seconds. I think it has already started creating. So within just few seconds, we should start getting the output. We have got the output. Let's see in the first go, was it able to create it? Or we might need to add some additional prompt to it. Ah, not bad. Not what I was expecting, but let's just say I want a map of Japan in a very detailed way. So I'm providing the API details like which API it should use to get the map of Japan. Here also, although it's working, like Tokyo, light shaking left, Nagasaka, what's happening, Sendai, what's happening. So you can see exactly like what's happening in each and every part when a magnitude 5 earthquake is there. So we can even set this magnitude to a higher level or a lower level and see the impact on various cities of Japan. So let's just wait a couple of seconds and it should be creating a much more. So like I said, in vibe coding, we would again and again give the prompt until we get the desired results. But right now you can see like I'm not checking the code altogether. I just saw the output and based on output only, I am giving the prompts and it should just keep on creating better codes. I think it has created. Okay, nice. So now we can see the entire map of Japan and we can see like shaking is happening and what's happened in various regions like Tokyo, strong shaking happened. So we can even increase the magnitude. So we can increase the magnitude to the highest point, 9.5, and then see the impact. Tokyo, severe shaking. Severe shaking is the highest number of shaking, like it would destroy the entire city altogether, widespread heavy damage. Even if the earthquake happened in this region, you can see like some impact has been done, but not a very big impact. No significant impact was done. But if it was done over here or here, it would have started creating like a moderate shaking has started happening in a particular region. So moderate shaking started happening in Sendai. And if it was somewhere over middle of here, you can see a strong shaking has happened in Nagasaka, Osaka, and Hiroshima. And if it was directly inside of here, it would have almost destroyed the entire of Japan. So that's how earthquakes, like we can simulate different things, and this type of things would be so helpful for government of Japan or any government. You can even see maps of India or various other things, and you can see like how it would happen for India. So yeah, so this is a small simulation and we can see like different things happening. So this is a completely different type of things. Like it's not creation of a normal website, but a complete simulation and how you can predict natural behaviors like tsunami can happen and how it would affect different regions of Japan, or if a tsunami happens in India, how it would affect and what would be the wave size, and based on wave size, how much impact it would create. So these type of simulations would be very helpful for governments to get a desired result, like what how they should make the contingency plans for each and everything. So yeah, this is all about simulation. Even you can create war simulations between India and Pakistan. Like right now, war is happening, so you can even simulate like if enemies attack from this region, and if we have placed various air defense systems in various part of country, how those air defense system would work, what's the capacity of each and every air defense system, and when the missiles come, how those air defense system, how much range it can protect. So based on that, you can create so many simulations. So sky's the limit to this, and you can create beautiful simulations out of this, and it would help everyone. Like enterprises can create dashboards and everything. Governments can create this type of military simulations or earthquake simulations or tsunami simulations. So with that, we will start with the next part. So moving on to the next part, I'll just create a new chat. I'll preferably choose Canvas model. And this time I'm creating an interactive slide deck explaining the concept introduced in this video. I won't put on the video, but what you can do is you can put on a YouTube video and tell it to explain the concepts in a much more detailed way. So I'll say introduce the concepts in class 10th physics. Please generate HTML page with JavaScript and CSS code. Please provide simulation where applicable to help learners learn the concepts in a better way. Feel free to use a visualization tool like D3 to provide additional visualizations that helps explain concepts. So this is a very simple prompt. Even you can write this type of prompts, and let's see what output it would provide us. So with that, what I want to see is like how we can better learn concepts of class. So you are in class, like I know all of you have already passed out of schools and you are in your college or working in a company, but at some point of times, someone always felt that if we can just learn those concepts in a much more better way than just reading the books and learning from them. This is exactly what I'm trying to explain over here. Like you can understand the concepts of physics, biology, chemistry, or even mathematics, which we think sometimes very complex. You can understand those complex in a much more better way. You can understand the concept in an interactive way. So how we can use Gemini to create those kind of interactive slides or interactive games to play around, which would help us to understand the concept in a much more better way. You can do it for any subject of your choice. Right now, I'm doing it for class 10 physics, but you can do it for anything. And this would create such beautiful animations and such beautiful effects or even visual games that you can play around. So let's just see like how this would create. And no matter at what point of life you are in, this type of thing would be definitely helpful. You can even create some gaming companies or even some applications on Play Store, which would help students from class first to class 12th understand each and every subject or each and every chapter of that subject in an interactive way. So you can create those type of games out of this. So yep, let's just see it in action. So this should be done in a couple of seconds. Okay. Okay, it has created the simulation. Let's just see. Physics is fun. Let's just begin the game. So I'll begin this. So this first one is angle of incidence. You all know the law of reflection. We were explained in class 10th, and even in class 12th, it was part. And we have done so many experiments on this in our physics lab. But now you can have this complete simulation running, and at which point this angle, basically when we put light on a reflecting surface, how it would bounce off. So you can get a complete understanding out of it over here. You even get a complete detail like what exactly it's happening, what's the formula of this. So you can get a better perspective of this, like what refraction is all about, how light reflects to different surfaces. Even convex lens can be explained in a much more better way, like when an object is placed and after convex lens, how the image is formed. So based on distance, how even at particular point in the convex lens, it starts reflecting. So yeah, you can understand concept in a very beautiful way using this. I can see like people creating so many different things out of this, and they would create applications that would help students from each and every class to understand the concept in a much more better way. So you can have resistance and everything. You can have different concepts. So few things might not work, but we can again go on to a new part and start that particular thing. So we can again prompt it to make it work. So that's the part of this. That's the beauty of this particular thing. I've already created one physics simulation. Here, what you can do is like, I'll just show you. Okay, physics is fine. Yes. Calculate series, calculate parallel. So you all understand series and parallel currents. You can have magnetism, and it can explain magnetism, how magnetism happens, and move the magnet to this particular part, move magnet out. So this kind of simulations can happen. So yeah, this is all about like what type of things you can create. No matter what the topic is, you can create so many beautiful things out of this. Even you can identify locations using Gemini. So Gemini is so advanced that even if you upload things like, I want to upload an image over here. So what I would upload is, You all know this location. It's Bahubali Hills. But in the world, people are not aware exactly which location this is. And if they want to understand like where exactly this particular place is located, I can just tell Gemini, where is this? I'm not typing in anything. It is not providing any details, or even I've excluded the image properties details, which collects the longitude and latitude data. All those things are basically removed, and it just looks like a mountain with a lake. But it exactly figured out that it's a Bahubali Lake, which is a very famous lake, famous place, and it's overlooking Buddy Lake. And how exactly to reach out to this particular place and how the name was basically popularized. It's based on the famous Indian movie Bahubali only. So that's what we can do with Gemini and understand things in a much more better way. Even you can simulate different things. Like what I can do is I can provide lightning effects. So, sorry, I'll just upload an image of lightning. My bad. Okay. And I would just say transform this image into a code-based representation of its natural behavior. This is a very normal prompt. Let's see what it allows us to do. So I'll open up Canvas. Based on my experience, what it does is we can simulate lightning, how many waves it should create, at what frequency lightning should happen. So we can even simulate lightning, and we can even simulate like how trees are formed, like in different weather, how trees behave, and we can have the entire life cycle of trees. So from day 0 to year 100, how the tree's life cycle happens, like how big it grows, how when it starts growing apples or bananas or anything, and at what particular point of time it would just die out. So you can see like I can generate a new strike, and every time it's a different type of strike happening. It's like a fractal. So those fractals have a different effect every time. So none of the time it would have the same type of effects. I can add prompts to add more like you can have control this lightning effects as well. So I can write a prompt that we should be able to control those lightning